That giant ox thing. I bet you've never seen anything like that before.
Usually it's worse.
No one can stand against me.
You're part of a family again. A family that needs you.
All right.
All right, Osric Chau, I'm glad to be talking to you again, man. It's been a while. And
Yeah, likewise, Albert.
this time we're talking about Heroes of the Golden Mask. I actually enjoyed this film. They reminded me so much of movies like The Forbidden Kingdom and Enter the Warrior's Gate. And overall, man, this is a fun movie.
It was a fun movie. Honestly, like you on the animated side, like I haven't done too many animations, so I didn't really know what the experience was like, but you don't know anything. You know, we're just like reading lines into the void and hoping it comes together well. And when I finally saw the film, like, oh my God, I had no idea this is what we were doing. It actually came together really nicely.
That's awesome. Well, you played the character as Zhu, who I think is one of the funniest characters in the movie, aside from Patton Oswalt's Aesop. But you were funny because for those who haven't seen the movie yet, you want to explain who Zhu is?
Zhu is a shapeshifter, so he has the power of shifting into any of the Chinese zodiac animals, except for the dragon, because that's a really hard one to do, and you kind of have to work up your confidence. So Zhu's story is like he's trying to help the whole team, you know, defend their home by transforming into all of these wonderful animals. Like I'm Year of the Tiger, so I'm a pretty good one, but not every year or not every animal of every year is as useful. So so it definitely bodes well for when he works up the courage to at least try to transform into the dragon.
Yeah, and that's not the only reason why. He also's got a massive fear of heights. As, you know, he's afraid
Yes, he does. Yeah, but I think anytime you get to play a flawed character, like there's just a lot of fun to be had, and you know, like even just reading lines off of a script into a mic, like there's a lot of fun to be had in that.
That's awesome. So, what was that process like? How'd you got to work with the director Sean up close?
He was the only one I worked with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to work with Sean. I actually met him at the Whistler International Film Festival a couple years back. I was in a program with his wife, and we just got along really well. He was telling me about these animation projects. He's like, oh, I'm actually doing one pretty soon, and he threw me in. I just met the guy. I'm like, oh, this is just like a nice dude who's doing this animation thing. Again, didn't really know what to expect, and then it just turned out it was this whole thing. It was, yeah, such a fun experience and very, very random in the best possible way.
Yeah, I mean this movie had a great cast. Aside from you had Byron Mann, you had Natasha Liu Bordizzo from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2, the great Patton Oswalt, Ron Perlman, and the legendary Christopher Plummer. This was his last movie, which was really surprising, and you know, that was.
I mean, that's just a crazy thought to have that was his last one. And I mean, the fact that he's not around anymore, I guess it's certainly sad, but yeah, definitely an honor to be part of something like this with him.
So during the voice acting, all you did was just you in the studio with the directors and everything? You didn't work with any of the cast members?
Just with Sean. So yeah, it was just Sean in a recording studio, and yeah, saying all your lines and a bunch of grunting and fighting action noises to fill in. I think we still have one more session that we have to fix up a couple of things, but yeah, the voiceover world is very different. I'm so used to the screen stuff where you have to go in, you have to prep yourself, you have to do all this like wardrobe, makeup, hair, and yeah, voiceover world, like you show up and you can start in like 2 minutes if you wanted to. Immediately, you can just step in and start.
You basically just show up in your pajamas. I've seen people do that too. They just go to the
studio. Well, that was my thought. I'm like, why did I bother wearing things? Like, why did I get dressed for this?
Exactly. So you finally saw the film. What did you think overall? I actually enjoyed it. I think it was a great movie.
I really enjoyed it. I had no idea what to expect. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like I generally have a really high expectation for animated features, and like I know how hard it is to put together, right? So I mean, like I'm like, okay, don't really know Sean. I don't know what he's capable of. So, I'm gonna lower my expectations. But I'm like, dude, this is actually like really fun, really entertaining. It had like, yeah, just it was very Asian. And for whatever reason, I was kind of surprised to see like just how deep into the cultural stuff that they went into. So I was very happy and proud to be a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, he was telling me that actually during production, I guess the one only flaw they really had was some of the mouthing wasn't working right. So, and it was during, I think it was during the pandemic. So one of his workers, animators, actually took all the computers and delivered them to the people's houses so they can fix up the articulation in it. Thankfully, it worked. I think that's
Yeah, I mean, like working on creative projects is hard enough. Doing in the middle of a pandemic was even harder. Yeah, I remember him telling me all the difficulties they're having. But you know what? I think that's a testament to Sean and his team. They found a way to do it.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, like I said, great voice cast. And would you say you have a favorite character in this movie aside from yours? I would say.
Favorite character. I mean, I do love Patton Oswalt's character. I just, you know what? Ron Perlman's voice is just so dang cool that I was like I was gravitating towards the baddie just because of his voice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was telling Sean, I'm like, he only had he basically says the same thing throughout the whole movie. Like, I need the Jade Blade. I need it. And he goes,
I know.
I give actors 3 chances. Ron doesn't need it. He just gets the free pass. He just has to do the one time and that's it. That's what he was telling me. And I thought that was great to hear because Ron was great in it. And then, Sean himself even did the voice acting. He was the voice of Thurman, the Christopher Plummer's enforcer, the big grunting guy. That was actually Sean who did that.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mentioned that to him. And then, his son played Charlie, who's like, he's like the Jason of the Forbidden Kingdom or Jack of the End of the Warrior's Gate. I like that that combination of the ancient Chinese culture and then you having the foreigner come in to understand it, like transport it into this world, and then they have to understand it. Because in a way, it's like they're like the fish out of water, and then once they get a full grasp of understanding how the culture works, I think that's important. No matter what type of cinema it is. I mean,
yeah, I think it's a really good way to introduce people, like an audience, to a new world, and then having that that mixture of cultures, like, okay, yeah, you don't know how to use our magic yet, but like here's some magic from my world, bullfighting that I saw from Spain, like just little things. Like I like when they incorporate all that stuff in clever ways. Like that's super fun.
So aside from this, I mean, have you seen Enter the Warrior's Gate or Forbidden Kingdom at all? Have you seen any of those?
Forbidden Kingdom, absolutely. That was like 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
So long ago. The other ones I have not yet.
Okay,
but,
it's
a pretty
cool. I mean,
yeah.
This one, granted, it's a video. It's like kind of like a video game. But what's interesting, they do a switch up at first, where a Chinese princess comes into our world, but then her and the American go back. The American teen goes back into her world to save the kingdom from.
Hold on, what is that called? I'm gonna look that up.
Enter the Warrior's Gate. Dave Bautista's in it. He's like the main big baddie in this.
Yeah, well, guess I'm gonna have to watch this. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
There you go. I recommended the movie though.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, with that said, what's next for you after this? I mean, do you plan to do any more voiceover work down the road? Because it seems like you had.
I had a blast. I certainly hope so. We'll see if an opportunity comes up for that. I'll have to work on my voice too, and just find different characters that I would want to play. I just finished up a movie called Worth the Wait. That one is just wrapping in Malaysia right now. But we've been filming for the last month, and this one was a lot of fun to film. I'm very excited to talk about it more openly. I think they're about to do a press release, so until that happens, I can't dive in too much. But it's been a very fun and exciting project as well. So I look forward to sharing that with everyone as well.
That's awesome. Well, everyone, Heroes of the Golden Mask is now on digital. I suggest you check it out. It's recommended. Get to see Osric here turning to become a shape-shifting hero in this one, and it's a lot of fun. His character is pretty funny, along with Patton Oswalt, and a great overall cast. And Osric, thank you so much again for taking the time to talk about it.
Oh, appreciate you, Albert. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, take care. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.